Negotiations continue between Columbia University and pro-Palestinian protesters as another deadline for demonstrators to disperse comes and goes. Many students at Columbia and across the country are demanding their colleges cut ties with companies that do business with Israel. Law enforcement has cracked down in recent days, even using tear gas and tasers on some demonstrators at Georgia's Emory University. As talks between school administrators and pro-Palestinian protesters on Columbia's campus continue, pro-Israeli demonstrators, mostly non-students, made their voices heard outside.
Nobody's talking about the hostages.
This Columbia grad student who took part in the rally worries those in the encampments are forgetting about the hostages still being held by Hamas.
If you actually want peace to be achieved as we do, and if you want a ceasefire, the hostages need to be released.
The students have been calling on the school to divest financially from companies that do business with Israel, angry over the ongoing war and humanitarian situation in Gaza.
They believe they can outstand us. We tell them that they cannot.
Columbia is working to regain control by keeping outsiders out. Security's now checking IDs to make sure only students and staff can get in. It was a different scene at Ohio State overnight. At least 3 people, including a graduate student, were arrested after setting up an encampment near the Student Union Center. Video posted on social media Thursday showed officers tearing down tents at Emory University in Georgia and appearing to tase someone pinned to the ground. Despite the crackdown on some campuses, pro-Palestinian demonstrators at UCLA say they're staying put.
We are here to make sure that the UC is not actively funding the violence that's happening abroad.
The University of Southern California announced it's canceling its main graduation ceremony, citing safety concerns. Columbia University's graduation is still set for May 15th. And for more on this, I'm joined by our Lilia Luciano. Lilia, you are on the ground there. I want to ask, pro-Palestinian students have now filed a civil rights complaint against Columbia University. Can you explain that?
They have, Michael. So yesterday they filed this lawsuit. It named or several of the students, multiple students. They named just a few, but basically they're saying this is a lawsuit on behalf of Palestinian, also students of Arab descent and other Muslim students who say that they've been extremely discriminated against, even when they're not protesting. Some of the communications have been, and what's detailed in the lawsuit, what they talk about is after October 8th, they were treated and accused of things like siding with terrorists, that they had been doxxed, that they have been harassed and attacked, and that on last Thursday, when the police was brought into the university, when the university administration called police to take away or clear the encampment, that also was a sign of discrimination, of violation of their civil rights, because hundreds of students were arrested doing what they said was a peaceful protest and just following their rights. We've heard also from school faculty and from other students and people who say, look, the school is a private university, there's rules, they were violating the rules, but that's, the police being brought into the university to arrest students has been something that has been widely criticized, not just by students, not just by protesters, but also by staff, by faculty in the university who pointed the finger at the president of the university and saying you've made some bad choices. The students were not breaking the law, even if they were breaking some policies.
Well, Lily, you mentioned the president. The president's been in the hot seat lately with calls for her to resign.
Yeah.
What's the latest on it?
Well, the university's Senate voted not on a full censure. There were concerns that could lead to her stepping down, and there's concerns in the university that it would be just succumbing to things that have been treated or regarded as politically, including from members of Congress. But there was a vote, something that was watered down today by the Senate, which represents faculty, and the voices against the decisions that the president has been made were heard. Basically, they're saying, you did not ask the faculty if they were in accordance with bringing the police, the NYPD, inside the university, into the lawn to arrest students, and that's something that a lot of the faculty was against. Again, the encampment is not outside, not on the public streets of New York. but inside. And so that has faced a great deal of criticism, and the decision from the president to do that last week is kind of why she's on the hot seat on that end. On the other end, there's also many Jewish students who say the university has not done enough to protect us when we've been harassed, when we have been attacked with anti-Semitic chants or insults or assaults.
Lilia Luciano at Columbia University, thanks.